Well, hey, I guess I'm ready here to rock and roll. Good morning. My specialty is to help you turn your psychic intuition from a survival tool into a thriving tool. And it's kind of like upgrading from a flip phone to a highly refined, super smartphone. Yeah. So as we refine our intuitive abilities, actually our manifestation will skyrocket. My name is Amirah Hall. For the past 2 decades, I've been teaching people how to enhance or align with their superpowers, their intuition, to manifest their desires. And so I want to invite you right off the bat here to a free training that I'm offering. It's a 3-part starting today, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's 1 hour and it'll be repeating tomorrow and Wednesday night. So you're welcome to join. It's free and I'll put the link below. Please jump in and join us. And if you like this video, please consider thumbs up. It's a good vibe and YouTube will share it with more people. And don't forget to subscribe too. In my last several videos, I've been talking about the various styles of intuition. And today I'm going to talk about clairsentient. That's that feeling, clear feeling. And that's exactly what it means in French, is feeling, clear feeling. And it's a highly sensed ability. It's probably the most common of all intuitive abilities, because it's all about the second chakra. It's feeling the energy. And that energy is located just 2 inches below your navel. And it's basically tuning into frequencies, the frequency of feelings. And so it's signaling these frequencies and then you feel it. And that's the way your spirit is communicating to your body. And the physical body then expresses it through your feelings. Hope that makes sense. And that is the energy center for also your sexual energy, your creative energy. And that includes your male aspects and your feminine aspects within your own spirit being. It's kind of like the spirit is playing this beautiful harp, and pardon me, your spirit is, the second chakra is like a beautiful harp, and then your spirit is the musician playing the harp and pulling the strings and triggering that frequency or that vibration. So there's a lot of feelers out there, or empaths, and they, over the years, a lot of them want to see auras, or they want to see things, and when they close their eyes, they might see images, they might see numbers, or they might see a phrase of words, maybe even a video, or symbols. Yeah. But they're often frustrated because they can't see, or it's just a sense that they're getting with relationship to that image or to that picture. And I've had students that prayed and prayed and prayed for their clairvoyant abilities or their ability to see open up, and only to find out, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. I'm not ready for that. Well, it's not a scary thing when you know how to manage it. I had one client out of Saudi Arabia who came to me, and he wanted to develop his clairvoyance specifically. He'd been working in the field as an energy healer, etc. And so even after his 10-week journey, he just was frustrated with how he was seeing, and didn't feel like it was evolving or developing in the pace where he thought. So it was funny, because as we waited for a few more weeks after the training sort of simmered and everything sort of fell into its right order or flow, all of a sudden he said, oh my gosh, Amirah, I'm seeing into my clients' bodies. I'm seeing the organs like I'm looking at a video. And so it's so exciting, because I have to say, everybody's clairvoyance, in fact, all of our intuitive abilities or styles are slightly different. So I'm careful not to pigeonhole them or lock them into an exact formula or description, because as soon as we do that, we limit it, right? So in terms of these styles, we can all be using all of them. We can be using, some are maybe more activated or more developed, and others are less, and it may flip-flop. You may, flow from one to the other. I use all 4. So that's clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, and uh, Clairsentience, clairaudient, clairvoyance. Yes, that's it. The work I do, we typically focus mostly as we develop on the clairvoyance, because I find that the clairvoyant ability trumps them all, because we can refine it. We can heal through using the energy of looking and be very, very specific, almost like doing surgery with a laser. So, yeah. So, as I said, in working together in my life mastery mentoring, we develop all of our spiritual abilities. They come online, and it's hard to say which one will come on first. I was working with a gal, Jennifer. Hi, just saying hello to you, Jennifer. And when I was watching her energy, she would go from her clairvoyant space down into her emotional space, because she's familiar with that space and she trusts it more than she's familiar with being in the clairvoyant space. So it's a learning to build a muscle, to trust the tools, to trust the guidance, and to realize that you will get perhaps higher information as you stretch your spiritual abilities. I really feel like we're in a spiritual revolution. There's an expanding spiritual movement. And what I'm seeing is so many people's intuitive abilities are truly just blossoming. They're just going poof. And a lot of people are reaching out to me, expressing concern, thinking they're going nuts or seeing things that aren't there. Or how come I'm seeing orbs, Amirah? I never saw that before. I'm starting to see color around people. So it's almost one of those things where we're not even trying and it's happening. So I'm having to keep up with more training so that we can keep developing that. I really do believe, and I've witnessed this, I'm seeing it energetically, that the consciousness on our planet is expanding, the entire universe. And as we are star beings connected with the cosmic energy, and as well as the earth, we're all growing together. There's an expansion within all of us. So I think in doing this work or looking for some coaching or training or mentoring, you need to find a good teacher that you can rely on and a program that you can build confidence with. Okay. And that would be something that I would definitely recommend when you're looking for something. So as I said, the last few days I've been talking about the various styles of intuition. And so, clairsentience is all about like, hey, empaths, if you're an empath, that's you. So there are some people that they don't feel other people's feelings, but they feel it. In other words, they're not taking on the pain. For instance, if you go into a crowd and you're just absolutely overwhelmed, you're literally sucking up all that energy of the crowd. If you go to a rock concert, for me, when I came back from my near-death experience out of Egypt, coming back to the US, my second chakra and my pineal gland, it's almost like all my systems were blown open. And I literally had to learn how to close them down so that I could function. So that's a big part of it for empaths that feel like they need to be pampered. I'm sorry to say that, protected, or you hide, or you isolate, or you withdraw from doing things you love because you're overwhelmed or you're full of anxiety when you come home. It's not worth it. This is an opportunity for you to learn how to direct those energies so that it doesn't control you, but you control it. And so it's really learning how to refine those energies, almost like a little, pipe organ. So some patterns to look for in empaths that you could recognize is empaths are typically slow talkers. If you've ever been with an empath, sometimes you want to hurry them up, finish their sentence, or maybe do that for them. Yeah, I know I've been guilty of that sometimes. Empaths speak slowly because they want to emphasize the words. They want to express it because they're feeling it as they speak. So things are drawn out in that way. So they might even move slower. They think slower. They're not able to respond or think on their feet as quick as others. So, how does that help you? Well, if you went to an event or a party, you could, if you wanted to seek out somebody that's an empath, you'll find them at the back or not mingling. They find a space where they can just hook on or talk to one or two people. So you can have a more concentrated conversation. I think empaths have a hard time sitting still, like in meditation. any length of time. And that's because they've got so much energetic frequency running through their space. And a big amount of that isn't their energy, which is the good news, right? And so and coupled with that is when we learn how to release the energies, the emotions that aren't yours, that you're carrying with you, then you have more intuitive juice to use for yourself, and just more energy, more focus, more ability to, manifest what you want. So in the program, if you jump onto that, I'll be training you about some of the very important basic tools that we can use to really help that, to get stronger and managing those emotions. We want to manage those energies that get stuck in the body. Empaths are really, I don't have anything here, but let's say this pen here, I would give this to an empath and they could hold it and pick up my vibrations, how I was feeling. So they're very much triggered by emotions and they are absorbing the energy around them. So there's about 7 major forms of empaths so that you can consider. Is the energy empath. That's what I consider myself, is I'm connecting with frequencies. I might not be taking it in as an emotion, but I'm feeling the energy. Like shopping in a secondhand store is really a little bit too much for me because I feel the vibration of all the people and their emotions and what they went through. So emotional empaths, as I said, are the most common. Sometimes they pick up the pain or the energy from somebody else's body or their experience. And sometimes they can take on the physical illness. Sometimes they don't. They just get the sense of that. So like I have a client I can recall and just, oh, do you have a headache right now? Because all of a sudden I'm feeling the pressure in my head. So that would be an example of how it came in. Of course, I use my tool so that I move that energy out and it doesn't stay in my body. The physical empath could be like a medical intuitive or a healer or a nurse, doctor, where they can just sense where a body's out of balance and they just know exactly where to take them or how to support them. An intuitive empath is someone that you could literally stand next to somebody, I don't know, in the grocery store, and all of a sudden take on their energy. I do it with my plants. When I'm standing next to them, I might look out the window and go, oh, gee, you guys need some water. I just sense it. I just feel it. Maybe I'm telepathically clairaudient communicating. So it's hard to know, right? Animal empaths, you connect with animals easy. You can feel them. You're compassionate with them. And that is just sort of a general sense and love for animals. You're taking on their energy. They're also taking on your energy because there are healers. And so you might notice if you're feeling glum or, down, want to hide in the covers, so is your animal, so is your dog. Yeah. Earth empaths are people that can feel natural disasters. I remember driving in a car with a friend of mine and we're just driving along, minding our own business. There's going to be an earthquake. Sure enough, the next day there was an earthquake. So you might be like that, where you all of a sudden feel this turbulence or pressure, and it could be a tornado coming or a hurricane or a thunderstorm. Your feelings are super sensitive, so you're feeling the frequency and the shifts on the planet. And then there's, of course, cosmic empaths, where some people, I'm not so much inclined. Sometimes it's just feeling wonky, and I don't know why. Sometimes the astrology helps us to understand what's going on. So you astrologers, you might be cosmically empaths. But where you can actually feel the movements. I heard of a woman that could actually feel the shift of the planets. It was almost, sometimes they could hear a roar or kind of a thunder, and that's has to do with the planet. So solar flares is another one where you could get the sense or the hit, oh my gosh, something's coming at me. And so there you go. That's a whole mouthful, isn't it? So again, my specialty is to help refine your psychic intuitive abilities so that you go from surviving using those abilities to thriving, manifesting your desires, and, healing yourself. That's what these superpowers are all for, and as we help each other be the best we can be. So if you've stayed this far, please kindly leave thumbs up. YouTube likes that. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. What do you relate to? What kind of empath do you feel most inclined to label yourself? And again, it could be a combination of several. So I'll look forward to seeing you same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, weekdays. I'll be back again tomorrow. And the link to join my class, the free training, is in the description. And I'll look forward to seeing you real soon. Until then, just shine bright.